Hi, I'm Gabe Pelfrey with Strategic Legacy Partners. Our group focuses on tax planning, benefit planning, and very comprehensive insurance strategies for high net worth individuals, businesses, corporations, banks, credit unions, and I'm here today to discuss a lot of advanced planning techniques with Matt and James Davidson from the Davidson Law Group. So, James, could you tell us a little more about the Davidson Law Group?
Sure, thank you, Gabe. We're glad to be here this morning. At Davidson Law Group, we're a comprehensive estate planning, elder law, and probate firm with offices across North Texas and East Texas, and we serve clients all across this great state.
And really what we're all about is helping families and business owners steward their estate, steward their legacy to the next generation, to protect their assets, everything they've worked really hard for, and do it in the most tax efficient way. And really, if it was just going to be wrapped up, it would just be stewardship and legacy is what we're all about.
And today's topics are going to be very beneficial to high net worth individuals, owners of corporations. So I think we're going to bring a lot of value today, and we look forward to jumping into the topics.
Yeah, we're excited about this conversation.
So here we are in the summer of 2020, either in the middle or at the end of a pandemic. We have all sorts of major cultural issues going on right now. So it's a great time to tackle business succession planning. James, could you tell us a little bit about what does business succession planning mean, and what are some of the pitfalls or dangers of not doing it or not doing it correctly?
Sure, absolutely, Gabe. Really, in the arena of business succession planning, the two major considerations are business ownership and business management. And having a plan in place that if you, the business owner and the business manager, become incapacitated and you're unable to manage or run the business, well, who's going to run it for you? And then, if you are deceased, who is going to run the business and who is going to own the business? Now, ownership and management oftentimes are the same person, but they don't have to be. And so business succession planning is about sitting down, putting pen to paper, and having some intentionality about appointing individuals and empowering them to serve in that management capacity upon death or incapacity of you, and then directing where the ownership will go upon your death. And so some of the pitfalls of not having a plan in place is, having the business interest and the business management to go to somebody that. And so, as a business owner, you spend all of this time creating this entity, and you want to make sure that it is stewarded to the next generation the way that you intend.
Yeah, from an estate planning perspective, business owners oftentimes have even more of a responsibility to have a plan and steward what they built and what God has given them in the sense that they've built this thing. So from an estate planning perspective, we really believe in business succession planning. Gabe, it really takes a team to get a solid business succession plan. It takes attorneys, estate planners, and it also takes financial advisors. So within your firm, what are some of the ways that you've been able to utilize certain tools to help with business succession planning?
Yeah. I think the primary tool that I normally see used in the marketplace is something that's called a buy-sell agreement. And it is an agreement that governs how a business transition or a sell or some unexpected event, when that event happens, how things are going to play out. It's a very, very powerful tool. So I work with law firms such as you guys on the crafting of that actual legal agreement, and then our firm does the actual funding for it. So whenever these things happen, how is it going to play out? The two primary resources that we see used to fund it are normally going to be life insurance first, which is a great tool to provide liquidity in the event of one of the partners passing away or the owner of the company passing away. Life insurance is going to create liquidity, and it's going to create tax-free liquidity that can then be used to either operate the business on an ongoing basis or can be used to buy out other partners or partner inside of the business. One aspect that I see overlooked a lot inside of buy-sell planning is, okay, if the owner dies, you have the life insurance that covers that. If one of the owners becomes incapacitated and suffers a disability event, what happens then? The life insurance is not going to pay out. It's not going to provide the liquidity, but that partner still can't be involved inside of the business.
Mm-hmm.
So insurance companies have developed a special tool for that, which is a disability buyout policy.
Mm-hmm.
And that policy, in the event that one of the partners becomes disabled, would actually provide the liquidity in a similar manner that the life insurance would have provided to take care of the financial issues with a disability or one of the partners becoming incapacitated.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and you're right. We work with advisors like you all the time doing buy-sell agreements, and we draft them, and then you guys fund them. But a buy-sell agreement is a business succession plan that we utilize mostly whenever there are partners running a business and owning a business, and the desire is not for the family of a deceased partner to continue with the business, but the desire is for the existing partners to continue owning and running the business. So in that situation, we use buy-sell agreements all the time. Now, contrasted to that, sometimes there are family businesses where a business owner wants their spouse or their children to continue owning and managing the business. And in those situations, we often utilize trusts. Where the business owner's interest in the business gets transferred to a trust upon their passing, and then the family can continue operating and owning the business through the trust. Sometimes, as James mentioned, if they want ownership and management to be separate, then the family can inherit the interest in the business in the trust, and they can be compensated based on their ownership interest, but somebody else can manage the business. So really the sky's the limit as far as the way that you can build these things out. And I like what you said, that a lot of people plan for passing away, but they don't plan for incapacitation. So not only on the insurance side do you need to plan for incapacitation, but on the business succession and estate planning side you do as well. And that's where powers of attorney and well-drafted trusts with successor trustees, well-drafted operating agreements on LLCs and articles of incorporation, basically laying out who's going to manage and who's going to continue owning or buying out in an incapacity or a disability event. So really, we really utilize a lot of estate planning tools as well as business planning tools like buy-sells and operating agreements, and then we really rely on you guys to come in with the insurance side.
Yeah, and what I see a lot there is business succession planning is a topic that's ongoing. It's not something that you just take care of at one point and it runs perfectly from then on out. A mistake that I see a lot is they will go through, they'll do a buy-sell, they'll put business succession planning documents in place, but they won't come back and update those. And there can be family dynamic changes. There can be changes in valuation of the company. So it's something that you need to go through and take a very deliberate process working with the team, but you need to come back and revisit it almost on an annual basis to make sure that it's still accomplishing what the business owner or owners wanted to accomplish.
Exactly. And that's a great point. And I'll add, in speaking to the business owners out there, that as business owners ourselves, we understand what it's like in the day-to-day operations of the business and looking directly at what's in front of you. And it's sometimes easy to neglect some of these things that we're talking about. And so as small business owners, we have to sort of take the time and build a team around us and a team of professionals and advisors to understand what our options are and make informed decisions with the options that are presented to us, and putting a plan in place. Because speaking for our family, our small business is our largest asset, and so we have to make sure that when it comes to management and when it comes to ownership, that we have a plan in place, and that plan is fully funded and implemented the way that we intend.
Yeah, and we are business owners, but we're also have family lives, and we're members of family. So we have to make sure that our businesses and what's going on inside of our businesses will also flow in and talk to each other in a way that is congruent, and that the plan makes sense for both the business side and also for what the family dynamics look like on the family side. James, Matt, it's great to be with you guys today to discuss these very important business planning topics. It's important to remember that what we discussed today, the topics that we discussed, are very fact dependent. You shouldn't construe any of it as investing, legal, or accounting advice. If you would like to get that type of advice, you could reach out to either their firm or my firm, and we're happy to provide you that, dependent specifically on your set of fact circumstances. So, James, Matt, if they want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to go about getting a hold of you?
Thank you, Gabe. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us and discuss these topics. And so if you do want to schedule a consultation with myself or with Matt, then please go to our website at www.yourtexaslegacy.com and give us a call at one of our numbers, or feel free to use our info submission form and input your information, and it'll send an email to us to request a consultation.
The best way to reach our firm is via website, www.stratlegacy.com. And if you want to reach me personally, the best way to do it is via email, gp@stratlegacy.com. It's great being with you guys today.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.